Welcome to Garden Tour Saturday. Grandma Sandy is the host of today's event. And let's take a peek at the garden. It's been 3 weeks since you guys have seen my backyard vegetable garden, and there have been so many exciting updates. To start, let's take a moment to appreciate these gorgeous sunflowers. I'm going to give you a little size comparison. This is my hand, and this is the sunflower head. It is so massive, so gorgeous, and I am so in love with these flowers. There's another one way over here. This one is very tall. The sunflower that you see right over here is quite tall. I'm 5'4", currently standing on my tippy toes so you can see me. And this sunflower, I'm gonna guess it's about 7 feet tall, at least. Definitely a tall flower, and I love it. It is a multi-stemmed variety. As you can see, there will be more flowers coming soon. And probably more than that. I think it's just getting started, this sunflower. Supervisor has arrived and he is indulging. Oops, my tripod just hit him in the bottom. Oops. He is indulging on some of my young kale leaves that I probably would have put in a salad, but he's definitely getting his fair share of greens in for the evening. And we have a few more sunflowers to peek at. Right here, we've got some gorgeous sunflowers. I planted several different, oh my goodness. We have a lot of people who love motorbikes on Vancouver Island. I planted several different varieties of these gorgeous orangey, these burnt orange color sunflowers. I did Autumn Beauty. I had a whole pile of different ones. I can't remember all the names, so I don't actually know what variety this is, but it is absolutely stunning. And I've got another dark colored one over here. Coming through into my jungle-like garden, we've got this sunflower. I feel like this might be a chocolate sunflower. It very well might not be, but it's giving me those chocolatey vibes, and it's really gorgeous. I love those deep dark shades of reddish black, just so beautiful. Since we are right beside my patch of tomatoes, I am getting loads of spoon tomatoes that are ripening now all over these plants. And that's awesome. I don't typically eat these guys raw. I've been putting them in homemade chili. I actually eat a ton of homemade chili. Pretty much every day that I work, I eat chili. So that is what I use these for. My tomatoes, my beans, my carrots, they all go in my homemade chilies. And here he is again, going after a different kale plant. So let's talk about the elephant in the garden, if we want to be symbolic. If you've seen many of my previous videos, I used to have some bamboo right here, which faces my vegetable garden, and it is now gone. I got rid of it to keep the people that live around me in good spirits. So that is what happened. And oh my gosh, look at this. I just saw this. This is my compost bin. I did not know this was going on. I did recently dumped the compost bin and basically repurposed the ingredients. I put some of the compost into my garden, and I gave the compost bin a stir, if you want to say that. Broke up some branches and just made it compost a little better, faster. And I just noticed these sprouts. I think these are some type of green. I'm not 100% sure what variety, but oh my goodness. I think it's gonna be awesome. I've never had stuff sprout like this outside the bin, but I'm so excited. That is such a cool find. Let me know in the comments, what type of green do you think this is? I'm not 100% certain. But back to the bamboo, which is right over here beside the bin. This is the remnants of my once lush bamboo forest. It was 9 years old and it is a goner. I'm actually trying to actively get rid of all these canes, and I have something very special planned for this area, and it does involve a fairy garden of epic proportions. I don't know if it's going to turn out, but I have some huge plans for this space, so stay tuned for that. Back to the tour. Right in front of us here, I believe this is a butternut squash, and we do have some squash on here. Right here, although it doesn't look like butternut squash, but I swear that's what I planted. So not 100% sure what's going on with that, but we will see. It's honestly giving me pumpkin vibes, and I know this was not supposed to be a pumpkin, so I don't know if it cross-pollinated with my pumpkin Big Macs, or is this a squash and it hasn't fully developed yet? Time will tell. We have a very baby squash on here, right there. We've got another one down here. So whatever this plant is, whatever this is, pumpkin or squash, we've got a few of them. Now, the moment that you've all been waiting for. I have the most exciting news to share with you, probably since the gardening season started. This is pumpkin Big Macs, the first and original pumpkin Big Macs that grew for me. If you're new to this channel, I am attempting to grow the world's largest pumpkin and the world's largest watermelon using Mary's heirloom seeds. And I chose pumpkin Big Macs and Dill's Atlantic Giant for this challenge. She also has a pumpkin and watermelon growing challenge on her YouTube channel, and I'm participating in that as well with her seed company. So let's check out my pumpkin Big Macs pumpkins. Zipper, what are you doing? What are you doing? I heard you over here. You were eating something. What were you eating, sir? You look guilty. You've been eating tomatoes, I can tell. I hope you're not eating green ones. Back to the pumpkins. Ooh, this is another squash plant, and we've got a female flower about to open. Not sure on this variety. So pumpkin Big Macs starts over here, trails all the way over here, and goes all the way out to the fence. And let me show you where the pumpkins are. It is getting more and more jungle-like in this garden. I kid you not. I am starting to have a little bit of difficulty when I'm walking. We will take a look at that in a minute. But let me show you my long-awaited pumpkin Big Macs pumpkins. Here is my very first pumpkin Big Macs. I am so excited to have these guys on the vines. Here is the very first one that grew. And I have another one in the most awkward place. I don't know if it's gonna hang on, but I think it is. Growing right beside the board of where the garden meets the fence. Not a very good location, but for now I'm going to keep it. I think it might fall off, but we'll see. I am so thrilled with this pumpkin though. I love watching it grow every single day. It is the highlight of my garden right now. check out, there are two monstrous sunflowers right beside me. They're very large, quite huge, and they do make it a little difficult to navigate the garden between these huge sunflowers and the mass of vines that literally go throughout the garden. But the challenge of walking through the garden is actually kind of fun. However, I am very leery of the snakes that could be lurking in my vines, so that's the only downside of having a jungle for a garden. You do have to be careful of slithery creatures. Unfortunately, this man does not seem to scare away the snakes. I swear he's made some kind of unusual friendship with them. So let's journey a little further through this garden. Check out my beans. I have added some bamboo from cutting my bamboo down to the ground. And it is pretty tall now. I didn't measure it, but I'm gonna guess it's about 18 to 20 feet tall, the stakes. And the plant is, well, this is the top of it, right here. I don't know if you can see where my finger is pointing. It's not anywhere close to the top, but I'm challenging this plant to see how far it will grow. I am so curious to know if it'll get to the top. There are tons of beans on here. I try to pick beans every day, but I don't always get out here every day. My fig tree here. Something happened to the one and only Chicago Hardy fig. I was about to pick it and it was gone. I don't think it was supervisor. I think another animal stole it. Don't know who it was, but sadly I did not get it. But it is developing the second round of figs. I don't know if they will ripen, but I have my fingers crossed, hoping that they might. And right down here is another Chicago Hardy fig. I planted this when several of my watermelon plants died. I planted this later in the season and it has exploded. I don't actually know if there's pumpkins on here yet. It's kind of gone all over. Ooh, we do have a female flower. It may or may not have been pollinated. So this one may be getting pumpkins as well. We are now going to journey into the land of watermelon plants. Buckle your seatbelts because this one is a little more challenging to walk through. Over here, you can hardly see, but these are my Georgia rattlesnake watermelons. I know they're rattlesnake watermelons from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Lots of growth on these. I actually don't know if I have any watermelons because check out the jungle. This is what lemon balm will do. I have tried my hardest to get rid of this. Every year it takes over my garden. So this section here, I don't even know what's growing. I know there's onions, there's garlic, there's a ton of strawberries, plants, some sunflowers, and I cannot see what's even underneath. I know the watermelons have extended into this direction of the jungle, but I don't know if there's any watermelons under this jungle. I'm doubtful, but who knows? It is such a jungle. I wish I could get rid of the lemon balm, but I cannot. It is impossible to get rid of now. So let's look at some more watermelon plants. They do have flowers, and again, there may be watermelons in here, and I don't even know. My Desert King watermelons under the raspberries are alive, but not really thriving. Raspberries, there's still a few on the plants, but they are definitely going towards the end of the season. Cannot resist. Whenever I'm outside, I need to eat some raspberries. I have one very disturbing development to share with you. This is something that both makes me very disheartened as well as very happy. It's an interesting development, and let me show you what it is and give you a background story. You may see that within my raspberry patch there is another plant that has emerged right here. This is a blast from the past. I'm quite certain many of the gardeners on this channel will know what this is without me saying it, but I will let you know in case you're unfamiliar with it. This is mint, and mint is my arch enemy in the garden. It smells delicious. It tastes very minty. I think this is my old spearmint. When I first started this vegetable garden 9, almost 10 years ago in this space, I planted mint in the ground. I was still fairly new to gardening, and I had heard warnings about planting mint in the ground, that it's somewhat invasive, only planted in containers. But did I listen? No, I didn't listen to the warnings. And I will be regretful of that for a long time to come. I planted spearmint, chocolate mint, and I think possibly peppermint the year that I planted mint. And let me tell you, I basically ended up with over 6 feet tall mint plants that were hedge-like. I wish I had a photo, but I didn't take a photo. And it took me 3 to 4, possibly 5 years to possibly eradicate it. I would sometimes get the odd mint sprout, a little root that would sprout into a whole plant, but I would pull it out every season, and every year I got closer to having no mint. Until now. I thought it was gone. It seemed like it was gone for a few seasons, and it's back. Am I happy about this? I'm not sure. Probably not, but I actually have a plan for this mint, although I don't know if I can execute it. My supervisor is doing his daily grass dance. What I would like to do with this mint is transplant it onto this slope. I don't have a lot of plants. There are some ground covers that are very small growing here, some flowers, and I think mint would be perfect here. It can spread out as much as it wants. The bees can certainly enjoy it here, and I won't care if it takes over the whole slope. So that is my goal, to somehow dig it out a little later in the season and transplant it here. While we're here, let's take a moment to appreciate these blue flowers. They are almost finished blooming, but I have to tell you about them. These are Texas blue bonnets, and I bought these from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I had no idea if they would be successful because I am technically growing a flower from Texas on Vancouver Island, a completely different climate, and they are actually thriving. There are some here and another little patch right over here, and I am so excited to have them. I think they're thriving because I have hardly watered this whole slope this whole summer, and we've only had about 2 days of rainfall in about 2.5 months. So I think that's why they're thriving. I assume Texas is a very dry climate, and our summer has been exceptionally dry this season. So I'm so happy to have them. I'm going to let them go to seed, so hopefully I get them again next season. But I had to share them with you because they are just so gorgeous. Here are some of my cucumber plants that are growing in the ground in my vegetable garden. After I cleared out the carrots, you can actually start to see what is in this little patch and has been here all along, but they were buried under carrot foliage. and weeds. But we do have a few tiny little cucumbers that are forming. There's one way down here. And another very tiny one right here. So two in this little patch. Not very many, but my cucumbers outside the vegetable garden have given me several fantastic cucumbers. Oh, I just spotted another one. Awesome! It's growing against my little trellis, so that is super cool. I am so excited. I did not know that was here. Let's take a look at this other pumpkin, Big Macs. This is at the opposite end of my vegetable garden. This was transplanted when Dill's Atlantic Giant failed to grow for me. I actually don't know if it has any pumpkins. Just kind of trying to check around. It's hard to tell because it is such a jungle in this area if there actually are pumpkins, but time will tell. This here is dill, and I have been absolutely enjoying both the flowers and the foliage in my salads. This is the first season I have grown dill in my own garden, and I am so in love with it. I think it is my new favorite fresh herb. Oh my goodness, I wanted to show you this corner. I did not know my sunflower was so wilted. This is a really bad sign. I didn't water today, and I can't remember if I watered yesterday, but check out how wilted it is. This is terrible news. As soon as the video is done, I am hosing this area thoroughly with water. And oh dear, my nectarine is once again wilted. Not good news. These are the cucumbers that are growing outside my garden. I have harvested some really good size ones, but oh shit, this is not looking good. There is one here, still needs to grow quite a bit, but this is what it looks like right now. We are going to go into emergency plant rescue mode and get these guys some water. Thank you so much for watching my vegetable garden update. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And we will see you in the dark very, very soon. I am waiting for darkness to fall right now so I can finish that very special video I'm working on that I made a little post about. So hopefully in the next couple days I will get that finished and onto YouTube. I hope you're having a lovely day, evening, night, wherever you are, and we will see you very soon in the dark. Bye for now.